Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a package from Born Pretty. We have some Born Pretty PR and let's go ahead and take a look, see what we got. I did already kind of cut this open just to check to make sure everything was okay, as I always do. So this time, let's see what we got. Now, I did say periodically they will like ask, you know, if there's anything else creative that I'm looking for, as opposed to the links that they send me to choose, and they'll tell me, you know, just kind of give them ideas, whatever. So I kind of like let them run with the things that I pick. So I was thinking Christmassy. So one of the links that they had available here was for this one, and this is the Flowing Light White Cateye. Please excuse the Halloween nails. I don't have time to do my nails, so they're just going to be what they are. So this one is MY77, and I'm never good at opening these just by twisting them. I see you guys doing that all the time, and I can never do it like that. So I always fight with it. Okay. So that is that one, MY77. And it is... So it is kind of your basic silver. So that's your basic silver cat eye. I'm like all over the place today. I can't find the center of my screen. There we go. So it's your basic silver cat eye. Let me get a magnet. Check it out. We can get it to focus. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be like the super bright flash, that velvety, what they call like a glass bead type effect, where it just kind of glows like from the inside. So there's that one. And then I told him, I'm like, just send me, because I wanted this, and I'm like, I'm thinking something Christmassy for design. So how about we do just like a red and a green jelly? So now I'm going to cut down the perforation here and see if that helps my situation. Oh, that kind of helped a little bit. Did it help? I probably should have just opened these before I started filming. That probably would have been a smart idea, huh? But you know, we don't think like that. We don't think that far ahead. That doesn't go down. Okay, there's that. Alright, so let me get the trash pushed out of the way here. So here are our two jellies, and they are JN. I don't know if I've got you guys zoomed in as far as I can be. There we go. Let's move it up. JN42 and JN85, and they are the Ice Jelly Gels. So from the Ice Jelly Gel collection, we have a red and a green. Ooh, this is the green. This is like super dark. Look how dark that is. That'll be nice. So it looks like around the neck of the bottle. Nah, I still can't really see it. I will swatch them real quick so you can see. There's a JN85. There's a little focus. And yeah, this is a good deep red. So again, it looks really super dark. But I will swatch them so you can kind of see. The neck of the bottle looks kind of red. So then, those are the polishes that I chose. I said, just give me those, whatever. And then they had the Pearl White Sculpting Gel. So So I was like, yeah, sure, let's try that. It's their 5D sculpting gel in pearl white. And is this gonna have a little pull tab? No, we're gonna have to cut it. Again, I should have been a little bit more prepared. Tweezers. Tweezers. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be like that putty, you know, sculpting putty type stuff. That was a big air bubble. That's quite a big air bubble, but there we go. Okay, so it's just basically like a big ball in there of the putty. And you just use it, you like roll it around, make your little flowers and little snaky things and anything you want to like basically carve out of the sculpting gel. You can play around with it and do whatever you want. I have a little something in mind. I don't know if it's going to turn out, but I got a little something in mind, so we're going to check it out. And then, you know, everybody and their brother has tried out the poking gel. So I said, sure, let's try that. And I got white. And it is the Born Pretty Poking Nail Gel. And then they also sent the base. So this is, I'm going to assume that it is the Poking Gel base. I'm going to assume that it's just like kind of a regular base coat. But I'm not 100% sure, because I have not really tried any of the poking gel stuff. I've seen a couple of videos where people kind of played around with it, but I haven't done anything myself. So yeah, this is just a clear gel. So it is either going to be like a base coat or a top coat, I would imagine. And then once you cure that, it gives you like that slick surface, where the gel's going to pull away from itself, if that makes sense. I'm going to end up bending my tweezers doing this. Maybe almost got it. Almost. How long will she struggle before she gets it? Oh no, it's like squeezing out the top. Okay, let's see. Can I get it now with my fingers? Probably not. I'm gonna make a mess. Okay, paper towel. Paper towel. Let's clean up our nose. Do I don't have any nippers over here. I do have some behind me though. Let's see, can we do this without just snipping it? Oh, ta-da! Okay, so this looks like it is just a white, like semi-thick-ish consistency gel. So maybe like a thin painting gel of sorts, but we will take a look and kind of play around with that for a moment. And it did come with one of the little like cuticle pusher end with the little pokey, so like you can kind of scribble as you're playing around with that. So that's that. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get these swatched real quick, and then we'll play around with the other fun stuff. So if this is something that you might be interested in, hold tight and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and ignore these two for the moment, but we have our Flowing Light White Cateye, and I did one coat just straight out of the bottle, and then the second coat I did the traditional Cateye magnet, and then I did on these two, I did one coat without doing anything, and then the second coat, I did kind of like that, the velvety kind of cat eye. It looks a little funky because on here you can't really get around the nail because these are in the way of each other, but you can kind of see the cat eye under there. It kind of looks like it's shimmering a bit underneath. Super pretty. And then these two, I did one coat on the whole thing, and then I did a second coat on the bottom. So that was our JN85 for the red, and it is a really pretty, I can put something white behind it so you can see. It's a really pretty Christmassy red, and you could even do like a third coat if you wanted it to be even deeper. But with two coats, you're going to get that nice red, like Christmassy red. And then for the green, that one was JN42. Again, I did one coat on the whole thing and then two coats on half. These have all been top coated with the Born Pretty, I think this is super top coat. So those are all shiny top coat. And then I did do these two with just a random pink polish because I wanted to show you the other two items, and we'll start with the 5D sculpting gel in pearl white. And what I didn't show you while I was doing the rest of this, while I was waiting for that to cure, I went ahead and got a little bit out and I put it on my palette. I rolled it up in a ball, and then I rolled it into this little snake formation here, as you can see. And I'm not going to touch it too much with my bare hands, because you want to wear gloves when you're working with this. Oh my gosh, I just totally got it stuck to itself. Okay, separate you two. All right. Oh, get off me, get off me. Okay, so I went ahead and just made my little snake, and then I cut pieces of it off to make these little, the little balls. And then we are going to take a dotting tool, and that one I need to make a little bit more round. It got a little funky. Again, you want to use a gloved finger when you are touching this uncured gel. Do not worry, I will wash my hands and get anything off of my hands very soon. So we are just going to, and I did top coat this one, but I have not top coated the last one. So this one is not top coated yet, because we are going to go in with the poking gel stuff. And oops, I don't want it to go on to a top coat if it's not supposed to go on a top coat. So these, I'm just kind of sticking to the nail. I'm not too concerned that it's getting a little out of shape. It's fine. We're going to be maneuvering them around anyway. I'm just kind of getting them stuck to the nail relatively in a flower type shape. And then I'm just going to use the pointy end of my little silicone tool. And we're just going to kind of smash them into a little petal shape. And this is like really pretty easy to work with. It's not sticking to my silicone tool, so that's nice. It is just kind of doing its thing, and I'm just kind of getting, you know, relatively the shape of petals. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just using the tip of that silicone tool to kind of smoosh out and shape my petals how I want them. And you can make them as like fat as you want, as skinny as you want. And then I'll just take my dotting tool And we're just going to create some little holes here in the center. And I have, if I can get them out, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them out. Let me get a little bit of base coat. A little bit of base coat there just to make my dotting tool sticky. And you know what, let me use a blend of the dotting tool. I'm just going to dip into my base coat just to get the end of it just a little sticky so that I can pick up. Let's see if I can get some little caviar beads. I got a couple. I also got a gem. I'll probably stick him in the middle too. Let's flip him over and stick him in the middle. Okay. So I'm just pushing that gem down in to the center of my flower. And let's see, can I get another couple of caviar beads? These caviar beads are the super teeny tiniest ones I have ever found. And they're probably a little too small for like this purpose, but you know, it is what it is. We're just kind of demonstrating. And I'm just going to kind of flare out my petals just a little bit more, just to give them a little bit of pizzazz. And you can make your petals pointy, you can make, you know, whatever kind of shape of flower that you're going for. I don't really know too much about the different types of flowers, so my flowers just kind of all look like the little 5-petal guys, but that's okay. So there's that. Super cute. And then with the rest of this little snaky guy here, I was going to try to put him on as well and kind of do like a little swoosh maybe. We'll see how it turns out. Just maybe a little abstract-y squiggle. Sure, that's what we're calling it. And I'm just kind of patting it down. I'm not smushing it, like I want it to stay like relatively round, you know, like its little tube shape, but I just want to get it kind of stuck to the nail so that when it cures, it's like really on there. And I'm just going to kind of make sure that's stuck, and I think that's kind of funky enough for me, so I'm going to go ahead and cure that. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the base gel here for the poking gel on our other nail. So this one, when it cures, it'll be done. This one, when it cures, we will be ready to do our poking gel stuff. And I have a cat hair. Of course I have a cat hair. Okay, so there is a nice coat of that base on there. We're going to go ahead and cure that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have that cured, and we're ready to go in with our poking gel. Now, as far as I know, and I haven't really looked at any tutorials or anything, I thought maybe I would just kind of, you know, fumble through and figure it out. You know, that's what we do. We figure it out. So I just have an application brush and it is clean. I got all the extra gel and stuff out of it. So I think what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to paint this on over top of that cured base. and you want to go in pretty, you know, like medium thick, I guess. Let's do a little bit more, why not? And I'm just swiping over to make sure it's pretty even. And now we're just gonna kind of doodle. I'm really bad at doodling. I wonder, this is probably going to be too big. Yeah, that's not going to work. Well, that kind of looks like a heart though. We did okay. I'm really bad at drawing. Okay, wait, let's reset this and try again. Now, do I think that I will ever use this on a client? Probably not. I mean, they make it look so easy. That was actually easier the second time. But it's like you're not getting like, you know, it's kind of a crapshoot if it's gonna take it all off or not. But we got it to say cool, so I think that's pretty cool. And I mean, the more you let it sit, the more the bigger it's gonna get, because it's kind of almost like a reverse blooming gel. So let me go ahead and cure that. Okay, so there's that all cured. And I mean, I'd say it looks pretty cool. I mean, the little exclamation point, everything right, looks a little weird. It does have a tacky layer, so you would need to top coat. So let me go ahead and do that. And I guess before I do that, our 5D carving gel is cured. And everything is good there. So, get this top coated. And let me cure that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is that all nice and top coated. Now it still does have just a little bit of texture, but if you like that, then you're good to go. If you didn't like it, you could always buff over the surface and then do a second top coat, or do a coat of base coat and then top coat to kind of fill in any of that spot. But I think it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Our little flower turned out pretty cute. It is like a pearly finish. It does not have any sticky residue or anything on it when it cures. Sorry, that was really blurry. My bad. But yeah, and you've got, you know, you can do your little snakes and your vines and your flowers and all the things. And then we have our cat eye with a jelly over top of it, like so. And then these are just the jellies by themselves. I did not test out doing the cat eye over the jelly. Let's do that because I can wipe it off. Let's do... Okay, let's do a coat underneath, just to see what it looks like with the cat eye over top. So like if you did the jelly first and then did the cat eye. Ooh, okay, that gives you a totally different look. And obviously that's just one coat, but if you did the Cateye over top, you're going to get more of a silvery. Plus, I did do one coat without magnetizing it, so that's probably what is still kind of showing through there. If you did the regular Cateye just over top, it would be less like foggy, but that's kind of a cool look. Kind of a cool look. I'm gonna wipe that off. Oh, I did get gel all over my bottle. Let's get that cleaned off so we don't make a mess. Okay. Get all the mess cleaned up. Clean up. Clean up. Oh, I don't want to wipe that with acetone. What am I thinking? Duh, I'm not thinking. I need alcohol to wipe off the gel from underneath because I don't want to ruin my swatch stick. Of course, it might leave a little bit of goo underneath there. Oh, that's not bad. Good enough for me. Okay, so now we're back to just the silver. But you kind of get the idea. And these jellies are definitely perfect for Christmas. I love this look over the Cateye. So I'm probably going to use this in my design. Maybe this, we'll see. But yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned and I will pop it in here at the end of this video. So I hope you have enjoyed so far, and yeah, on to the design.